Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again today with another video, and today I want to talk for a bit about the FIBA World Cup and more specifically, what's going on with Team USA. If you haven't realized, right now the Basketball World Cup is going on and it's been a lot of fun. International hoops is a great time. I've enjoyed the presentation of it too, with like the referees being mic'd up during instant replays, the coaches being mic'd up during timeouts, not a lot of commercials. The presentation, to be honest, is way better than a lot of the NBA games that I've watched, and the hoops in general are really fun. Some of the rule changes are interesting. There's great international players that I really don't know much about because I don't watch a lot of EuroLeague. I do want to get into it more, and of course, a lot of the other leagues out there as well. You're seeing some NBA stars continue to make their names known on the international stage, and at the center point of it all is Team USA as usual. Team USA is almost always the favorite going into these international competitions, and this year that was again the case. They've got a pretty good roster full of all-star, fringe all-star guys that felt like they would probably go ahead and make a run for the title. The specific guys on the team are Paolo Banchero, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Bobby Portis, and Austin Reeves. They're also coached by Steve Kerr, who has won 4 rings with the Golden State Warriors, so he's got a lot of experience. It probably felt like USA was bound to go ahead and win it all like they were favored to do. And in a lot of the group play games, they did look like a dominant force, winning a lot of matchups by 30, 40, getting big time performances from like Anthony Edwards in particular, who continues to make himself known as a star. You got some great play from Paolo Banchero, a rookie last season coming in and already trying to make an impact for Team USA, as well as a number of other players on the roster. It was a good time. It was fun to watch this Team USA team operate until yesterday against Team Germany. This was the semifinal game, the winner, of course, moving on to the finals to face off against Team Serbia, who had just defeated Team Canada in a semifinal matchup at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time that I, for some reason, woke up for just to watch Canada get blown out. It was a really exciting match, with Germany being undefeated coming into this, and the US, of course, being the dominant favorite that most people expected to win. However, Germany overcame being a 10-point underdog and knocked off the USA, winning by 2 points, 115 to 113, a really high-scoring game that saw Germany expose a lot of the flaws that this Team USA roster showed all throughout the tournament up to this point. This is people freaking out. The media, fans, everybody are looking for someone to blame. Why did Team USA lose? How could they? What happened that caused them to fail at this point in the tournament and not even make it to the finals? So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what went wrong, a little bit just about international hoops in general, and what Team USA needs to do going forward to try and make sure this doesn't happen again. Now, let's start, of course, with this game against Germany, the one that they ultimately lost. Offensively, they were amazing. Anthony Edwards had 23 points, leading the way for Team USA, which he did pretty much the entire tournament. Austin Reeves had a really efficient 21 points. Mikal Bridges shot 6 of 7 from the field for 17. Brunson had 15. Really, the whole team played well offensively. If I gave you their shooting splits, you would think they blew the other team out. They shot 58.5% from the field, 48% from deep, and 96% from the line, while additionally winning the turnover battle. Like, that seems impossible. It seems there's no way they would lose that game, but they did, mainly because the defense was horrific. Dennis Schroeder in particular completely tore up the United States defense. He put up 17 points and 9 dimes, consistently creating advantages for his teammates as well as himself. You also had Andreas Obst, I hope I pronounced that correctly, there's a good chance I didn't, who's just lethal from the outside. He drilled 4 threes en route to a team-high 24 points, including a really big shot at the end where he caused Tyrese Halliburton to slip and basically slide out of bounds. Overall, the guard defense was abysmal. Austin Reeves in particular was getting hunted. They were attacking him in space, forcing the defense to collapse to get wide open threes, or just attacking him one-on-one and getting to the basket. This was also happening with like Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton. The guard defense on this team was really weak, and Germany was consistently taking advantage of it as the US was switching everything pretty much every single possession. And ultimately, this and something else we'll talk about in a moment led to Germany scoring 115 points in a 40-minute game. That's the same length as a college basketball game. You never see college teams put up 115. Germany was just completely annihilating the United States defensively. It was an abysmal effort from the American team. The other factor that played into this was the size advantage for Team Germany. They had them completely outmatched. Daniel Tice put up 21 points and 7 boards on 66% shooting. Franz Wagner had 22 points and 5 boards. Mo Wagner had 10 points. The team as a whole grabbed 12 offensive rebounds to the US's 7, which led to 25 second chance points to the US's just 8, which is obviously in a 2-point game the big difference maker here. And size and rebounding was an issue for the United States basically the entire World Cup. It was what sank them earlier in the tournament against Lithuania. They were the other team that beat the US. They did it in the group stage. The big reason why they lost that game was the offensive rebounding. It was second chance points. The US just didn't have the size to keep up with some of these other teams. They had a really tough game also against Montenegro, specifically against Nikola Vucevic, who gave them fits. Now, the US ultimately pulled away in that one and won decently comfortably, but it was one of the closer games because they had that talented big man play from a guy like Vooch, who really just took advantage of the lack of size and physicality on the US team. Probably at the center of this big man issue for the US in this game and really throughout the entire tournament was Jaren Jackson Jr. If you take a look at NBA Twitter and the media and stuff, he's probably getting the most slander for the way that he played throughout these games. They start him at the center spot, which theoretically makes sense. You've got a great defender who literally just won the Defensive Player of the Year award in the NBA. Plus, he can stretch the floor, which allows guys like Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and Tyrese Halliburton to attack downhill with having to worry about some big post-up center down low. It makes sense theoretically, but it didn't work for one big reason, and that's the fact that Jaren Jackson is a really, really poor rebounder for his size. There's a reason that he doesn't start the 5 in Memphis and instead plays alongside Steven Adams, who's a good rebounder. Yesterday against Germany, he grabbed just 3 rebounds while struggling overall defensively, which is supposed to be his calling card, and ultimately that led to him playing just 19 minutes. And not only was the rebounding a problem in this game, but throughout the entire tournament in the 7 games that the US played, he averaged just 2.9 rebounds per game. That's abysmal. That's one of the lowest marks on this entire team, and he's supposed to be the starting center. He's not a center. I don't know why the US continuously tried to use him in that way in those small ball situations. To me, it would make a lot more sense if they start like a Bobby Portis or a Walker Kessler, who we'll talk about in a moment, as the center with Jaren Jackson sitting there at the 4. I don't know why they didn't go with that. Instead, continue to try this small ball thing, using Jaren in a situation that he's not really that suited for. I don't think Jaren played well. I think he's got to be better, but I also just don't think the coaching staff put him in a great position to succeed. They started Josh Hart next to him at the 4, and Josh Hart is a great rebounder for his size, one of the best rebounding wings in the entire league. But if he's your leading rebounder, which he was in this tournament for the United States, he led them in rebounds per game with 5.9, that's a big problem. Outside of Jaren, the other bigs they have include Bobby Portis. They tried Paolo Banchero as a small ball 5, which he played some good moments, especially defensively in a couple of those games where he got the opportunity to do so. I was genuinely impressed. But again, if you've already got a problem with being smaller than other teams, you're getting beat up on the boards, I don't think putting Paolo there at the small ball 5 is really that big of an answer for you. I don't know why that was the adjustment that they tried sometimes, and instead never really tried Walker Kessler out there. He didn't play in the entire Germany game. He didn't play much throughout the entire tournament, but this game in particular, it felt like he could have played a big-time role in helping the US advance to the finals. He's their lone 7-footer, a great rim protector, their best rebounder, all things they really could have used. I don't know why he never checked into the game. It was an extremely confusing decision from the coaching staff and specifically head coach Steve Kerr. He just kept trying to run this small ball that wasn't working. To me, it feels like he way overthought this rotation, thought he had things figured out, and it ultimately crumbled. Small ball doesn't even make a ton of sense in international play because there's no defensive 3 in the key, so bigs can just camp out down low, making things a lot different than the way it is in the NBA, where small ball is a lot more effective. I don't know. To me, it just makes sense to put Kessler and Jaren out there, letting Jaren play his normal position of the 4, letting Kessler play the 5 as a rim protector. I don't know. Maybe he knows something that I don't, but to me, it just would have made sense. Between abysmal defense, a lack of rebounding size, overall physicality, and weird coaching decisions, there's a number of reasons why the US failed, falling to Germany in the semifinals. But one reason that I think not enough people are talking about is the fact that this Germany team is just really good. They've got great NBA talent between Dennis Schroeder, who has been amazing in international play for years, great play from Franz Wagner, who, like I said in a few videos, is a rising star in the NBA, his brother Mo Wagner, Daniel Tice being physical down low and on the boards. Like, this team is good. They've also got a number of players that aren't in the NBA but are incredibly talented in their own right, and this is a team that most of the guys on here have played together for a while playing for Germany. International play in general is just better than ever. The world is catching up to the US incredibly fast. We just talked about Germany. We talked talk about Team Canada, who's about to play the US in the third place matchup, and right now they have Shea, RJ Barrett, Luke Dort, Gilgeous-Alexander, Walker, Dylan Brooks, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, amongst others. Not to mention the Olympics, they might have Jamal Murray at that point, Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Clark, maybe Shaedon Sharpe, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin. Like, there's so much NBA talent there, and that's just all off the top of my head. There's also Team Serbia, who's about to play in the finals against Germany, and they don't even have their full team out there. They've got NBA talents right now like Bogdan Bogdanovic, Nikola Jovic, alongside guys like Dobric and Militinov. Hopefully I pronounce those names correctly. If not, let me know down below in the comments. They both had 16 against Team Canada and looked great out there, but the talent they're missing is even greater than what they have right now. They don't have Vasilije Micic, who just signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder and is a EuroLeague MVP. They don't have Alexei Pokusevski, also with the Thunder. They don't have Milos Teodosic, who played in the league for a bit, and most importantly, they don't have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, all of whom could probably play for them in the Olympics, making Serbia one of the scariest basketball forces in the entire world. These are just a few examples of the many great international squads that are going to be gunning for the United States, trying to take the gold away from them in next summer's Olympics. The US is going to have to bring their A game if they want to secure that top honors, which I expect they probably will. We usually put out a better team for the Olympics than the FIBA World Cup, and some of the rumored guys that could be playing are incredible. Steph Curry is supposed to play, I believe. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker will likely be back there again. LeBron is even hinting at playing, amongst others. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Edwards returns, maybe some guys from this year's team alongside, and like maybe they actually let Jaren Jackson Jr. play the 4, which could be a big boost. I just expect the US team to be really, really good, especially coming off this loss. If the United States has a group that looks anything like that, they should and probably will win the Olympics, but it's not guaranteed. International hoops have never been better than they are now. The world has never had more basketball parity, and that's great for the sport. I don't want to see the United States win by like 40, 50 every game. I want to see these teams put up amazing fights and maybe even take down the United States. As much as I did want to see them win this World Cup, it's super fun to watch Germany and Serbia face off in this finals. I think it's going to be a great game. I've loved watching both those teams up to this point, and I do think that Team Canada versus Team USA third, fourth place match is going to be a lot of fun. So those are my thoughts on Team USA and the FIBA World Cup in general. Again, like I said, I wanted to make more content surrounding this. It's just hard with the copyright stuff and being busy with some other things that I'm working on at the moment, but I appreciate y'all watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. Comment down below if you think Team USA is going to win in the Olympics. What do you think the roster looks like? What do you think the problems were with this US team? Who do you put blame on for the US losing this year? And yeah, like I said earlier, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all later. Real one, say it back.